Today we're here to talk about slapping and popping on bass. I haven't done many bass oriented videos, despite the fact that I also do teach bass as well here at Carl Stacey Guitar Tuition, so it's due time. I'm going to throw a few in the mix here or there. It's probably going to be more dominantly kind of focused on guitar, but I will throw some bass videos in as well. And thank you very much to everyone that's tuned into the videos recently, because the views have been doing pretty damn good and I'm very happy about that, so thank you very much. Today we're here to talk about arguably the most kind of famous and popular bass technique that there is. Even people that don't play music or bass always kind of know of it most of the time. That's slapping and popping. So a little example in the start of the video right there. I was trying to get that in there so you can get obviously a nice practical example right there. So for the slap element of it, right, take your thumb, this magic thumb right here, somewhere around the middle of the bass at the bottom here, next to where your pickups are. For me, I've only got one pickup center in this bass. Your pickups might be in different places, so you might have to kind of alter where your thumb is a little bit around that. I personally think on this bass, the sweet spot kind of right just on the cuff of the pickup. That's where I get the most kind of slap back and kind of spanky sound and tone out of it, basically. Might be different for you. Might be worth kind of feeling around a little bit, seeing where the sweet spot is, seeing what feels best. You want to have your thumb slightly tilted. You don't want it to be a perfect vertical line with the string. You want to be slightly tilted so you can get that bounce back, slap back sound, basically. The key is bringing it down with a bit of force, probably more force than you may think initially. It's quite a percussive thing, obviously. It's quite rooted and related in kind of percussion and drum kind of orientated things. So you want to make sure that when you bring it back, you're immediately releasing and back and releasing and back and releasing. Alright, you can always use this hand to kind of control the extra noise and sound and all that stuff as well to help with the percussive precision behind it. So we've talked a little bit about the slap. Obviously we'll combine them both together in a moment. The pop, I tend to use the middle finger for, the longest finger, works out nicely. I'm going to just turn that up and do that a little bit more. So you want to get a bit of like a scoop underneath the string for this to work nicely. That's where again where that kind of spankiness, poppiness kind of comes from, really. Like that, for example. So you want to scoop it and tuck it a little bit. And then the most important thing to remember when doing any of this is the fact that you want to sort of what I would call lock and load it. Okay, so when you're doing the slap and removing, you never want to bring your thumb too far away or completely remove the hand or anything like that. You want to kind of keep it locked and loaded at all times so you're prepped and ready to play whatever the riff may be and keep the consistency of the technique there, basically. You might be able to see a little bit when I'm playing it right there. I'm getting the slap, pop, slap, pop, slap, pop, but I'm immediately kind of loading it again, ready to go again, straight after, again, for the consistency purposes of it. So one more little example for you. And then last thing I'll mention is what tends to work the nicest, especially when you're starting out learning, practicing playing, popping and slapping on bass, tends to be working with octaves. Right now I'm in drop D, so my octaves are kind of on top of each other, stacked a little bit. So for example, 3 on the D and 3 on the D there. If you're in standard, you'll have more of the kind of first and little finger, bigger distance jump between 3 and 5, for example. Slapping, popping always sounds good and sounds musical with octaves in my experience, in my opinion. So it's worth kind of following those patterns and following those shapes while moving around and then practicing the technique to make it sound the best and get the most out of it, basically. So yeah. Thank you very much once again for watching and the first bass video, and hopefully a few more to come. Yeah, awesome. See you in the next one.